Steve Harmison is in the studio with you, Andy. How you going, Harmy? You okay?
Oh, very, very well, Max. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too. That was quite comprehensive this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a good performance. I looked at when the New Zealand won the toss, you're thinking, oh, are we going to play on the same pitch we had the other night when we got the match abandoned? Because the match abandoned the other night it was set up for a really good contest, a really good game. I know 153 was the total, but they've obviously getting a day's sun to the surface and they've flattened it out. But I thought when the toss was won by New Zealand, I thought, oh, this could be a bit of a sticky situation for England under the sort of lights, under the dew, and with a new ball like the other night. But Phil Salt, I think, learnt from the other night where he went too hard too early, and I think he absorbed the first sort of 10, 15 balls and then got going. And then once Harry Brook came in and really, like the blue touch paper, then all of a sudden with Salt going, Brook going, and it was a lot easier for the likes of Banton to come in. And it was a nice little innings of confidence booster for Bethel as well. So, 236, you should never, ever get beaten in that situation.
No, I watched the power play. It was very exciting. But Bethel did that thing. I'm always fascinated when batsmen do this. You just hit 2 sixes. Why not just play a single? Why have you got to go and do it again? I don't get that. But there we go. And then he got out.
He's not the only one that does that. I mean, sure. Harry was guilty of that a couple of times, once at the Oval and a couple of times in the summer. So it's just the way this England team play. It's a T20 format. And that it was good signs from Bethel. Yes, he only faced 12 balls, but he had a couple of sixes, a couple of fours. He looks in decent order. And with that left-hander going in at 3, I thought England, even though Sam didn't get as many runs, but another left-hander going in ahead of Banton, I thought it was a pretty smart move from England to keep that left-hand, right-hand combination going, because I think the New Zealand bowlers were struggling a little bit.
How long can Adil Rashid keep playing? He's amazing, isn't he? 4 for 32. He's an incredible bowler. He just seems to go on and on. England can't replace him.
They can't. There's nothing. As much as I think Rian Ahmed is going to be a very, very good cricketer for England in the future. Adil Rashid is he's a special human being, a special talent, and I wouldn't care, that his first over, he got pelted. Saifa, he belted him in that first over, and he came off, and it was Liam Dawson that came on and really sort of wrestled, because I don't think, I said there, 236, you're not getting beat from there, but first 5 or 6 overs, you're thinking, oh, they might not, they've started well, New Zealand. Then they got at Rashid, but then Liam Dawson came on and just brought a little bit more control back to England. He picked up a couple of wickets, and then once you get a team having to go 12, 14, 15 and over, Adil Rashid is one of the best at defending.
Do you think it's
Harmy,
go on.
I was just going to say, forgive me, but I find it hard to keep track of when the next important white ball thing is. And I know the Ashes are coming. I'm so sort of focused on that. But what's the schedule? When's the next World Cup? When's the next by the barest of margins that I can get excited about?
To be honest, Max, all you have to do is go the next World Cup's next year, because there's a World Cup every year, just in a different format. What you have in world cricket, Max, it's a bit like FIFA and the World Club Championship, and everybody, all sports are the same. They want their pound of flesh. Because there's so many franchise tournaments, the ICC and their powers have decided, right, they're not just getting all the money. We're gonna have our tournament. So I think nearly every year up until 2032, there's either a Champions Trophy, a T20 World Cup, or a World Cup, 50 over World Cup, and the next T20 World Cup is in February, March time, and it's in Sri Lanka, I think. So it's different type of situations, as in what the elements are going to be like, what the pitches are going to be like. So the importance of Liam Dawson, the importance of Adil Rashid, and possibly coming in Rian Ahmed with a little bit of Bethel. It bodes nicely that England have got a nice, well-balanced side going here, as well as Sam Curran will probably be more suited from a bowling department in a subcontinent, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, he's done well in the IPL,
T20 World Cup, so bowling.
I was going to ask you, though, I've noticed a lot of clips of Australian players playing in the Sheffield Shield, and there's got to be a benefit to them playing red ball cricket going into the Ashes, whereas we're going to have like a 3-day warm-up. It's slightly worrying.
It is, but... And this is just the way the modern game's going. The modern game's going is we're not bothered about warm-up games. We're not bothered about And I can see the logic in both sides. I can see the run-out point of view where you get some confidence boosters by going out and banging 100 against Victoria's Farmers 11. But yeah, probably
good
not.
Side.
Yeah, very good side. Nothing against the Farmers of Melbourne and Victoria, but this is what normally happens when teams come to England and they get Derbyshire second 11 or Leicestershire second 11. The games are pointless and the games are meaningless. England are going to play against their Lions. And looking at what your point you're making, the Sheffield Shield stuff, it's interesting not only to see them playing in the Sheffield Shield, but seeing the wickets they're playing on. I mean, I don't think Sam Constance has batted on a wicket which actually resembles a Test match wicket.
That's interesting.
It's been green surfaces, but on the other hand, Marnus Labuschagne looks like he's batted on a road for the last 3 weeks. So, they're getting themselves into a little bit of form. But early signs in the Sheffield Shield is these wickets are a little bit greener and they're going to do a bit. And that's going to be potentially what we're going to have for the Ashes. So
preparation potentially good for our bowlers.
Yeah, a little bit. It's
good for their bowlers.
I think it's good for their bowlers too, because I think
that's annoying, isn't it?
Our bowlers are very. I think our bowlers have got potential and very good on paper. Their bowlers' stats are very good on paper because they've been there and done it. So, but their bowlers are going over the hill a little bit.
Bolland is underrated, though.
He is, but he didn't have the best of time against England when they played against England in England, and I think
that's different.
England will hold that. But just to finish off on the preparation, and I always use this because McCullum used it in an interview he did on TV just before the end of the summer. He said, "I'm a gambling man. I love the horses. I wouldn't want to put a premier racehorse in a race that he doesn't need to run in. There's no point in him just running around the track for the sake of running around the track. I don't want my bowlers to be bowling overs. They don't need to bowl in warm-up games. I'd rather save them for the big thing." So you can see the logic in what Brendan's thinking.